Welcome back, friends and foes alike. You have joined us on the LFG Unfiltered Podcast. Well, mostly unfiltered by me. Leanne's pretty filtered. How's it going, Leanne? Leanne Caruso, my co-host, and I'm the co-host as well, Michael. Hi, and thank you for joining us again. Leanne, how's it going?
It's good. What are these green glasses you have on your head? Is that your headband?
No, my headband. What would make you think that I need a headband? For those of us that are listening on Spotify.
Oh my gosh, that hair.
What do you mean? That hair.
That
It's almost
hair.
it's almost as long as yours.
Today is Friday, and it is the last Friday before school starts here in Tampa, which is
Oh,
crazy. My daughter is starting high school, and my son is going into his senior year. So we've got a lot going on.
wow. So
When does school start there?
you do all kinds of back to school shopping?
Yes, I've been to the mall more times than I can count because my daughter is also not wearing uniform for the first time. So she's very
Oh,
excited that she actually gets to showcase her style.
very cool. Very nice.
Yeah,
No, in
it's been
Canada,
fun.
school does not start until after Labor Day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I also think we don't end as quickly as you guys do.
That's very true.
But yeah, no, I was able to showcase my hair at the Guns N' Roses concert this past week.
Oh, so
Uh,
you fit in. So
so
have
I
you been
fit
growing
in.
it this whole time just to go to the Guns N' Roses concert?
No, no, I've just, I mean, anyone that knows me knows that I change my hair like the wind changes its direction. So yeah, just kind of been going at it, and it was really cool. Actually, the Guns N' Roses concert took me back to like the 90s, just seeing all the people and, the culture and everything. It was very cool.
You were born in the 1900s?
The 1990s, 1990s. Not as old as
Alrighty.
you, Leanne. No,
Uh-huh. Right.
I mean, I'm not. But yes, why don't you tell us who we have on today,
To,
Leanne?
Today, I'm very excited. We have a fellow Canadian for you, and a fellow fractional for me, Wendy Winder. She is the founder and chief strategist of Ray Strategic Marketing. Gotten to know her pretty well over the last couple of years, so very excited to have her on. She's very smart. And we will be talking about franchise brands who kind of move without the strategy. And without the strategy, what's the word? Oh gosh, I can't words have escaped me, but missing the strategy means that there's no foundation. And so having the foundation is really important. Finally got through that. Good Lord. You need
I
a
mean,
new
we're
co-host.
recording at 9 in the morning. Have you
I
been
know.
drinking?
Not yet. I should. Maybe I should put some Baileys in my coffee.
Well,
Anyway,
that's
Wendy's
good.
Wendy's great. She's gonna have some good information for us to share.
Yes, she is great. We got the pleasure of getting to hear her at Let's Grow earlier
Yes.
this year, and we're going to get the pleasure of seeing her at Franchise Marketing Live, and she's going to speak at Let's Grow again. So,
Yes.
super, super excited to have her on, and she's a lot of fun too. But before we get to our next segment of Franchise Royals, this segment is brought to you by NetSertive.
Our friends at NetSertive, if you have listened to this podcast, you know I work with a lot of marketing partners in franchising. One frustration I hear all the time is disconnected systems, reporting in one place, ad platforms in another, and no clear view of what's actually working locally. I did see that they just launched an update to their platform, so go check that out. But that's where NetSertive comes in. They bring localized strategy, expert teams, and their MLX technology platform together so performance data lives in one place and locations can grow efficiently. If that sounds helpful for your brand, visit netsertive.com to learn more.
Dang, you didn't stumble on your words
I got
there. Maybe
those
you're
words
not
right.
drinking after all. That is
Oh Lord.
great. Okay,
Oh
okay, fine.
boy.
I retract my last statement. Franchise Royals, my friends, we've got a couple of big ones. I'm still thinking about mine. But Leanne, who is your franchise royal?
I need to buy you some time. My franchise royal is Marnie Smith. She is the new VP of Success and Growth at Franchise Now. As most people know, Franchise Now is a great partner of ours. They've been our title sponsor of Let's Grow for 3 years and soon to be our fourth year in a row. So they are doing great things, bringing Marnie in, and she's a great addition to the team. If you haven't gotten to know her, reach out. She's offering um, reach outs on LinkedIn right now. So get to know her, get to know what Franchise Now is up to. So congratulations to Marnie and the entire Franchise Now team.
Amazing. Marty, congratulations. Welcome aboard. The team is fantastic. Um,
Yes.
love everybody
Michael,
at Franchise Now.
did I
Yes.
buy you enough time to think of your franchise royal?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't really call this one though a franchise royal.
Oh boy.
Because we've used it in the past, and she's kind of a, franchise boil.
What? Oh boy.
I was dawned on me that, you only turn 50 once. And so, I know it's been a couple of weeks now, but you like to keep the party going. And so I figured, you know what, Leanne, for your 50th birthday, or was it
Oh
60th?
goodness.
Was it
Oh,
60th?
stop
No,
it.
it was 50th. You didn't know it was 50. I figured, you know what, you're very deserving to be a franchise royal. So congratulations on your
Oh.
appointment. And I asked Gemini to put together, I said, you want to know
Oh
exactly what I said?
no.
I said, can you
Oh
give me
no.
a parody of Leanne Caruso of Franchise Assembly? And this is what it came up with.
Oh gosh.
It gave me a little poem. All right. Let me take it
Oh
from here.
no. Oh Lord. Everyone fast forward.
No, no, no. Listen. And they even labeled it the 50th Assembly Toast. I like
Oh
it.
boy. Okay.
She didn't just market, she set the whole pace with Zoom calls and stages and charm in your face. From Hello CMO to the LFG crew, if there's a new funnel, Leanne pushed it through. Now 50 is here and the metrics look fine. A milestone event for the head of the line. No churn and no burnout, just wisdom and wine. As the golden age marketer crosses the sign. Hold on, hold on. So Michael Hyam steps up, looking
Oh
sharp
boy.
as a tack, to raise up a glass and hold nothing back. The dashing co founder delivers the toast to the Queen of Assembly we all love the most. Happy 50th birthday, Leanne.
Oh my
So
God.
let me step back for 1 second. So it gave something very similar and it just said raising the toast. And then I said, hey, why don't you add in a line about her good looking partner who's going to give this toast? So it added in like literally one thing I put in, add in something about the good looking co founder. And then
Oh
it
my
added
God.
in the dashing da 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 da. Anyways, how do you like my toast?
Oh, that was funny. Good job. Gemini knows you too well. Oh my God, I'm
Oh my
dying.
goodness.
That's
Anyways,
hysterical.
all
Well,
right. Hey,
thanks.
the two Queen Royals, Marnie and Leanne. I love it.
Two queens. That's right. That's right. Hey, before we go
Yeah.
to show and tell, we did not talk about that this week we just launched the marketers list. So we launched the marketers one to watch, and those are either up and coming franchise marketers or people who are new to franchising. They may have big titles, but they're new to franchising. And then we launched the Trailblazers list by the time this goes live. And so those are people who have been in franchising 3+ years, executive level. And we've got a really, really great group of people in both of those lists. So check those lists out on our website.
Awesome. Love it. Yes, definitely check it out. And did you
Also,
say
big
something
news,
exciting? Yes.
huh? Yeah, I said
Continue.
on our website. Also, big news, we have a new podcast sponsor.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So before we head to our show and tell segment, please take a break for Franchise Ninja. And if you're watching on YouTube, there is an actual commercial. And if you're listening, listen in. Thanks, Franchise Ninja.
What would 5, 10, or 25% more broker-driven candidates mean for your Fran Dev efforts? What if you could give every broker a territory check answer before your competitors even start? Franchise Ninja automates the entire territory check, applying your brand rules and delivering a response to the broker in an average of 59 seconds. Forget the spreadsheets, emails, and manual handoffs. Just fast, consistent answers that keep brokers engaged, candidates moving, and opportunities alive. Franchise Ninja. Automated territory checks in 59 seconds. Your spreadsheet can finally retire.
Thank you, Franchise Ninja. Great. That was great. Great commercial. As I was just saying a little bit earlier, we're getting to the meat and potatoes of it, of this podcast. And this our next upcoming segment is Show and Tell, where we bring in an industry leader, an expert, someone to share insights and ideas on their segment of franchising. And we have one of our favorites, Wendy Winder. Leanne, why don't you give us a little intro on Wendy?
Sure. Well, we got Wendy. Wendy, as I mentioned earlier, is owns Ray Strategic Marketing, which I can't wait to hear the story about how you started. She's a fellow Canadian to you, Michael, and she is a fellow fractional to me, but she's got more of an agency firm style. So I love what she's doing in this space. And we're going to be talking about basically laying the foundation for a franchise brand rather than skipping over the foundational and the strategic part. And so why that's so important. But Wendy, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having me. Before I jump into me, can I just say thank you guys for creating this amazing franchise community? It's,
Oh, sure.
I think you guys have done an amazing job. And if you've been in franchising, you know how much we appreciate this community and also love the educational content. Like this podcast is awesome for those of us that just, we can't be experts at all the things. So love it. So anyway, thank you.
Oh, well, thanks, Wendy.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm
all right, that's the show. No, just kidding.
So anyway, about Ray, I'm founder and chief
Yeah.
strategist at Ray, and we are a boutique strategy and marketing firm. And our whole reason for existing is just helping those companies make the big, bold moves that they need to make in order to grow. And the way we do it is starting with that positioning and that foundational work, doing it from a research and data-driven perspective. And it's just so foundational for us. And positioning isn't a marketing exercise. It's a company exercise. It's a team exercise. And then once we have that solid, then we work on the marketing strategy. We make sure it's tied to business goals. And then we help bring that plan to life with brands. So think of us as kind of your fractional senior marketing leadership with a plug and play marketing department behind it. And so whatever the franchise needs, if you need filling a capacity gap or you're leveling up a junior team or you just need a senior strategic voice in the room, we can be that for you. And the other thing that makes us different from different traditional agencies is we don't believe in having all the execution specialty in-house. Marketing is like changing fast, and we cannot be experts at all of it. So, the AEOs and GEOs and the, media buying and all those sorts of things. Instead, we believe in having bench partners that are specialized and experts in their field. And honestly, part of the expertise is knowing the landscape and matching the right experts with the right brands at the right time. So that's my little gist of what we're trying to do at Ray.
Yep, I love it. I love it. And I think this is something we've talked about before is people are so worried about the tactics and the execution, but they're forgetting the foundational piece, the strategy, the brand positioning. And I love that that's what you guys do. And I also love that you're different than what I do. While we kind of sit in the same fractional space, you have more of a team behind you. You come in with the full leadership and full support, where I'm not able to do that because I'm just a one woman show. So I love what you're doing, and I've been really, really impressed with your work. But so you're doing it a little bit different. I love that. Why did you start Ray?
Well, I mean, the obvious answer is I have an entrepreneurial drive. I want to build something bigger than myself. And I have a brother and two best friends that, have successfully launched their own companies. Another reason is I just saw a gap in the marketplace. So I spent 25 years leading marketing teams in the franchise industry, and I always got frustrated with like hiring an agency, to help with the big idea. They'd come in, they wouldn't involve your team. They'd go away and be like, do the magic, come back and go, ta-da, and then expect you to run with it. And you're just like, man, it was never real. It never really got adopted. And they didn't really care about what was happening in the franchise, all the things. And then the other thing that I think that is the gap out there right now is nobody's teaching this. Like I'm a continuous learner, and everything that I've learned is, through the school of hard knocks and also just educating myself. And so a lot of times there's people, if you're lucky and have a mentor earlier in your career, which I did, shout out to Deborah Meeks, it's amazing. But if you aren't, people are not teaching these junior marketers how to do strategy, how to like what is foundational positioning, how to do that. So that's kind of the gap that I think we can play too. But the main thing is I love helping companies make big, bold moves. And later in my corporate life, I always got pulled into helping companies with strategic planning, in part because you can't do your marketing plan if your strategic plan is like a long wish list of 20 things and the kitchen sink. And so, I'm never good at staying in my lane. So I was like, let's make sure we have a good strategic plan and then we can talk about the marketing plan. But I also think like early in my career, my very first job, I worked for Quaker Oats. And so I was packaged goods. I had a company car. I'm like, I'm living the life. I'm thinking this is awesome. And 6 months in, my boss calls me in and he's like, hey, Wendy, like, how are things? And I'm like, this is awesome. And then he's like, yeah, but you actually have to sell something. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm going to lose my very first job. Like, this is crazy. And it taught me two things. One, it was back in the day when you would like self reflect your sales. So I never took any credit. I always thought it was somebody else that it was definitely somebody else that, made that happen. But the second part was was never going for the big thing. And so I was so worried about losing my job that the next time I walked into a grocery store, I'm like, how do I make that wall all Gatorade? Like now I want to go for the wall. I don't want like 10 cases or 5 cases. How do I buy the wall? And so I constantly push for that. And the first time I got the wall, I ended up the guy was didn't have money like Kellogg's or Coke or Pepsi. No one has all of this the money.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh, we can do like a community event. I've got Captain Crunch. Couldn't afford Captain Crunch, so I played Captain Crunch all weekend, but I got the wall. And I think that if I wouldn't have almost lost my job, I wouldn't have had that kind of drive to like, I don't want to go for the little stuff. I want to go for the big stuff. Because when we go for the big stuff, even if we only hit like 80%, we're doing so much better. And so now when I'm thinking with franchise brands, how do we do the big stuff? Like, how do we make those big, bold moves? So that's my why.
I love it.
I,
I love that you use
I
big, bold moves too. Sorry. Go ahead.
totally no. You know what? And I love the story. This is completely off the side. I think because a lot of the people that listen are entrepreneurial, of course, just like all of us. And so, complete side point. What would you say in starting? If you were to pick one thing, what was your biggest struggle?
In starting,
Yeah, and going off on your own.
I think the community was helpful. Like I knew what I was doing, but I joined a couple of mentorship groups early on and had a business coach. And I think one, it gives you the confidence that you know what the heck you're doing. But two, and this is why I'm grateful for Leanne, is like it gives you that group to bounce things off of because I fundamentally like my whole philosophy is we can't do this by ourselves. And so being able to have a team of people that you can pull on that's not even part of your company, but you can just bounce ideas off of and go, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? It just makes it better and it floats everyone up. So that's what I think that
Yeah,
getting that early and not being afraid to ask for help, right?
right, right. You're great at that, and you're great at also giving back and lifting people up, because I think those groups are these mastermind groups and all that is really important in terms of giving and also receiving. So I think a lot of people come into some of those groups thinking they're going to receive, but the giving is just as important, and you're really, really good at giving. And that probably stems from not only your nature, but stemming from what has been given back to you in order to be able to launch and go into these, go into these big, bold moves for yourself. So that's great.
Aw,
You love it.
podcast over.
I love it. All right. So we were talking about laying the foundation. And so what do you need to actually do for positioning? And what is it really? So how does your team take that approach? And what does a franchise struggle with first? And how do we
Yeah.
overcome that?
Yeah, positioning's kind of nebulous, like what the heck, right? It's the foundational stuff. It's your North Star, purpose, mission, vision, whatever. And it is important to kind of reflect back on that because you need to know where you're going. I don't think it's fluffy at all. Once that's in place, positioning really has four components to it. So it's super simple. It's just who are you for? What's your target audience? What's your unique value proposition? How are you unique and different in the market? Where is your kind of space that you're positioned to win? Um, and then what are those reasons to believe that the your customers can like buy into this? And then once you've got that in place, bringing those pieces to life and doing it from a customer centric way. And our methodology, it always starts with the qualitative research. So when we come into a franchise brand, we talk to all of the team members. We do a deep dive with the franchisees, if there's master franchisees or if there's FAC councils, we want to talk to everybody. And then depending on the brand, well, for sure, everyone, we talk to the customers. And it's the gold. That is the gold. Um, and then sometimes, depending on what the brand is looking to do, we will also do a mirror group of non-customers. So that's kind of that piece. So doing all of that stuff, then you combine what's happening in the market with the competitive analysis. We kind of mush that all together, and then we start collaboratively as a group, as a team, figuring out, okay, who are we for? What are the things that we're doing to make us unique and different?
Yeah.
Awesome. Michael, are you frozen?
I was for a second there, actually. That's why I feel like again.
He was wowed. He was wowed by that. He's like, holy crap, I get positioning now.
Like, I never knew what positioning was.
First of all, you're absolutely right. I have no idea.
I was going to say that, or the marketing just bored him to pieces.
Every time I learn something new about marketing, it gives me. I'm on the sales side, right? So of course, us marketing people and you guys are left-brained and we're right-brained, and so I just, similar. Before the podcast, we were talking about long hair and Guns N' Roses, and how I found a new affinity towards how ladies are amazing with what they do with their hair and condition it and keep it going. And I feel that same way every time I hear something new about marketing. And I learn about it and I'm like, oh my gosh, God bless you guys, because I could not do any of that. Like,
salespeople need to understand marketing better. But before we go to the next question, I do have a question on your positioning, Wendy.
Yeah.
So do you think when you come into brands, do you think that they understand that they really need positioning, or are they coming to you because they finally realized they need strategic positioning and they've kind of missed that step along the way? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for the most part, people are not coming because they need positioning.
Got it.
I'm just fanatical about it. I'm
Yeah.
passionate and
That's
believe
good.
that,
Yeah.
because normally when people come in, it's like, can you tell me if my marketing's working, right? Like do the audit,
Right.
start with the
Mhm.
tactics, and you're just
Yep.
I can't even do that until first of all, and we put a strategy together. But if we don't even know if the brand is solid, like you could put an amazing marketing plan together, but if your brand isn't solid,
Right.
any marketing plan or any sales team, is going to fail, right? Because you have to have
Right.
product or franchise. And so, and then for us to even do a great job of arming sales with the right way to sell it and what's resonating and all those things, you have to start with that foundation. You have to start with that
Mhm.
discovery. So, do they normally need that? No, they're coming because they want to grow. They maybe, they're at a certain level and they need to push to that next one. A lot of times, successful brands just have that growth mindset, though. They're frustrated, they have a need, they want to do something different, but they also philosophically don't believe that they're perfect and
Right.
that they just want to keep getting better and keep growing. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
tackling
found that
that
to
head
be the
on.
same too. Yeah.
I love it. Wendy, tell us a little bit about, you have a method, the three pillar UVP method for finding combinations of strength that nobody else can see. Could you tell us why, first tell us what is the method, about why the three pillars instead of long positioning statement? Tell us all about it.
Sure. I'm not saying other methods wrong. Other marketers have different methods there. But I found that, when you do positioning and people talk about doing a positioning statement, which is like, we do this for this person and we do it this way or whatever. And it ends up being this really long massive sentence and I just nobody can remember that. You come back to your team later and it's like nobody can remember it. So my personal favorite in positioning or UVP is this 3 or 4 pillar method, which is basically 3 or 4 things that your company just does extremely well. And your competitors might have one, they might have two, but nobody has that secret sauce of all 3 or 4. And and what I love about that is the simplicity. Everybody can remember 3 or 4 things. Um, but it also allows for the complexity. And it also focuses the company and helps with strategy going forward. Because if everybody in the company knows we just got to be good at these 3 or 4 things, it just helps with strategy. You just got to lean in on those things. And so when companies get the 3 or 4 pillar method right, it is the backbone of how they talk about their business. So that's the methodology. And to me, like the results, a good example, and this isn't from when I went with Ray, but when in my corporate days, when I was leading the team at Jugo Juice was a juice franchise, and they'd just been purchased by MTY. And the team went through this exercise of figuring out who they want to be, got locked and loaded on the unique value proposition. And then one of their things, obviously, was they wanted to be healthy options for people on the go. And they weren't quite there yet. But the team was so locked on that's what we want to be that they just went to work. And so we, refreshed all the categories and hired a menu innovation person and just went about doing that. And not to date myself, but back at the time I was a young mom, and I'm like, all of my friends want kale in their smoothies, trust me. And so the first go at that wasn't right, but the second go hit. And and we wouldn't have been able to do that if we weren't clear on what we wanted to do. So first to market with kale in the smoothies. And we took that brand in 18 months from double digit negative when everyone was sort of double digit negative in QSR to double digit positive. And that's to me the power of when you have this really simple, focused plan and the whole team's around it and we're all rowing in the right direction.
So obviously that's when you do it right, you get everybody on the same team, everybody understands the strategy, everybody is working towards the same goals and expectations. And I think having everybody behind it is really, really important. How does that like affect so we're all in franchising, right? So how does that go into the effects of Fran Dev or local marketing when you've got it all from the top, everybody's rowing in the same direction? How does that affect your Fran Dev efforts and your local marketing efforts?
Um, it starts with the qualitative research and the philosophy of the fact that this is a team exercise and a company exercise and not a marketing exercise. And
Mhm.
so, by nature, when we're going out and having those conversations with franchisees and with head office people, inevitably, they're always have this moment of like, they're so appreciative of being included and that the brand wants to hear what they're saying, and it matters.
Mhm.
And then from having those conversations, it really does. Then even when you like, usually we do our like, okay, here's what we think we've got for positioning, but then we bat it around, and everybody's involved in that. But the other thing that naturally falls out of that is when you're having all those conversations with franchisees. Now, when you're going to do friend dev and you're looking at personas for who makes a great, you can take your rock stars and you can take that qualitative research and really get deep and specific with your personas, and have it be validated um, in that perspective. Um, and then for local marketing again, because you're having those conversations with franchisees, it sets it up to build a relationship to now, let's kind of look at your location and how do we bring that piece to life. So there's benefits all around. Um, yeah, and it's kind of one of those things like when you do the brand foundations and positioning, then you do the strategy, then you're clear on what you need to do, and but you've kind of laid a groundwork for actually going and doing that work. So.
Yeah, that foundation is just so critically important. I think it's something that we actually just had the same conversation on a podcast not too long ago, or similar conversation where having the strategic direction formulated by not only your vendor partners, but also the people within the organization and at the top keeps everybody rowing in the same direction. And also, without the foundation, you're skipping ahead to lead gen, but you really don't know where the actual problems may be, whether it's positioning, messaging, creative. You're just skipping ahead because everybody just wants leads. And this flies on the consumer side or the brand app side, right?
And
Um,
I do always include strategic partners because they've got
mhm.
rich gold to share too, and they're seeing at it from a different angle. So we always do that research. Um, but I think it's interesting. Like the one thing I would encourage franchise brands to think is like, don't wait. Don't think that you need to have a problem before you come and do this work. Like to me,
Yes.
one of the brands that we're working with currently is Tommy Gunn's Original Barbershop. And they're like a growing brand. They're winning awards left, right, and center. I mean, they're amazing. And I remember having a moment early in the engagement. I was like, oh shit, like what if I can't help them? Like what they're probably so amazing. Like I can't do anything here. But it's never ceases to amaze me when you get in, you do that research. There's always a ceiling that you can go to. And it's those brands that have that growth mindset that, we're doing well, but we want to get even sharper. We want to get even better. I have no doubt they're going to keep growing because they've done that work. So, and the other thing I would say too is for smaller brands, like we've worked with one of my clients is Elite Trade Painting, and they're a smaller, really successful, established brand, but they're ready for that next phase of growth. And so they invested, and they're really pushing out the positioning, find their uniqueness. They're in painting, so it's obviously a very low trust field. Like, how do you stand out? How do you make yourself distinct? And putting that work in, is going to set them up for that. And so you don't need to be, you don't need to have a problem. You don't need to be like a certain size. There's always right time. In my mind, if you haven't revisited you don't have to do it every year, but if you haven't revisited your positioning in like say 3 to 5 years, it's a good time to do it again.
Totally
That's
agree.
great. Foundation. Uh, quick question, Wendy. Who was you brought me back for a second. Was it a Terry or a Mark that was like the head of Jugo Juice back then before the sale to MTY? Do you remember? Because I know Jugo Juice was based out of Calgary, right? Or out of Alberta back
Yeah,
then?
name blanking me as well because they had just left at the time, but they were two founders, and Juco Juice and Booster Juice were founded at the same time, both in Alberta. Little known fact.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so maybe I might even be confusing
Jason
the
was his
two.
name. Uh,
Jason. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
they've
That
gone
is
on
right.
and they've gone on and launched other brands. They're doing really well.
Oh, that's always good to hear. Well,
Yeah.
Wendy, thank you very, very much for coming on. This has been amazing and inspirational. And for all the people who are in marketing, this is great info. Could you tell us where, if someone wants to reach out to you, if they want more information, consult with you, where was the best way to reach you? Is it LinkedIn or your website? Or feel free to give me all the info.
For sure. It's raystrategicmarketing.com. Go on, book a meeting with me. I would love to have a coffee and chat. I nerd out on this stuff, so I'll chat with anyone. And I'm also on LinkedIn, Wendy Winder.
Hey.
Love it.
Well, thanks for coming on, Wendy. It's so great to see you. We'll see you at Franchise Marketing Live. We'll see you at Let's Grow and the Mastermind even. Very exciting.
I know, I'm excited. Thank you again.
All
Appreciate you.
right. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, Wendy. That was great. And in closing, of course, our final segment of the hour, franchise mingle. What's going on? What's happening? Where are we going? What are we going to do? Franchise
Wait,
mingle.
wait,
Oh,
before we talk about where we're going to be and what we're going to do, this
before
episode
the
airs
before.
before the before, and you gave me that beautiful birthday toast. Thank you so much. But before we go to the franchise mingle, this episode airs on your birthday.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. All
you're
right.
born in the 1900s birthday. I won't say which one.
Some of us are not in our 50s, but anyways, let's
So close, though. So close.
well, not close.
Anyway, happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. My gosh, I wonder if people love our banter. What do you think?
Probably. They don't even make it this far. And to prove that, anybody who makes it this far at the end of the show, we might have a surprise. So
Oh, okay.
let's tell them where you're going to be.
Let's give them the surprise. Let's give them the surprise as soon as we're done this. But this franchise mingle is sponsored by the National Franchise Show. And what do we have coming up? Like really quickly, we've got the Detroit Franchise Show in September. We've got a super busy October with Philadelphia, Tampa, and Los Angeles franchise shows. Immediately after the LA Franchise Show, we have Franchise Marketing Live. That's happening. And right after that, we have the Hello Mastermind. Oh, what are the dates, Leanne? I have it right here.
What? Yes, Hello Mastermind Fall Retreat, November 4th and 5th.
November 4th and 5th. So, sorry, just to go back, the Los Angeles Franchise Show was October 31st, November 1st. Then we continue on in Denver, November 2nd and 3rd for Franchise Marketing Live. And then immediately after that, we have the Hello Mastermind Retreat, November 4th and 5th. Wow, that was a mouthful. Okay, and then after that, we have the Atlanta Franchise Show, November 14th and 15th. For those of you that don't know about Franchising After Dark, it's happening immediately after the Tampa Franchise Show on October 18th, as well as in Atlanta, we have another Franchising After Dark event, in Atlanta, November 15th. So if you want a seat at the table, just shoot us a quick email if you're from the Tampa area or you want to come into Tampa. If you want to have a great and fun dinner with a whole bunch of franchise people, maybe like 30 to 40 of us, then shoot us an email and we will give you details about the hidden agenda. Okay. Oh, hey, and not to forget, Leanne had a whole bunch of other things on here. The Franchise Business Review Summit in Austin, October 28th through to the 30th. Oh, we love our friends at FBR. And Let's Grow. We have literally just opened up registration for Let's Grow, the Franchise Sales and Development Assembly that is happening January 27th through to the 29th. Hold on, before you leave, I got two last things. This episode is brought to you by NetCertive, Franchise Ninja, Franchise Assembly, and the National Franchise Show. And if you have made it this far, Leanne, tell them what they win.
Hey, if you made it this far, post on our LinkedIn post for this episode, put I made it, and we'll give you a $10 either Amazon gift card or Starbucks gift card if you made it this far. and you register for Franchise Marketing Live or Let's Grow today, then put I registered and we'll give you a $20 gift card to either one of those places. How's that?
Love
We're going
it.
to see who makes it to the end. And this offer is good through August 31st.
Boom. Folks, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.